I'm probably going to cover just a few shorter topics in this video. So firstly, I want to talk a bit about happiness and when in my life I've been at my happiest, because I think we always assume that well, as people that suffer with body image disorders, we assume that when we've got this ideal body, like this perfect figure, that we're going to be happy. But that's really, that isn't the case at all. And to be honest, it's the complete opposite of that. Because if I remember back in, when I was younger, all of the times that I remember being the happiest and enjoying my life was actually when I wasn't at all focused on my body or what I was eating or how I looked at all. And because when your mind is consumed with all of these thoughts about how you look and about your diet and being, everything being perfect, just how you want it to be, you're not able to enjoy family time, and you're not able to go out with friends, have meals, have days out, go on holidays. All of these things are just completely cut off because you're consumed within your own confines of your daily routine, and sticking to your exercise regime and your meal times and what you eat and things like that. And since about the age of 11, since I started suffering with anorexia, I really haven't done anything that I can look back on and think, oh well, I was really happy at that point. And I haven't really done anything that's brought me a lot of enjoyment. And I haven't been really anywhere abroad, and if I have, all I can remember from those holidays is being worried about how I've looked, or worried about whether or not I'm going to be able to find appropriate food in restaurants that we go to and things like that, or whether or not I'm going to be able to get a workout in at the hotel gym and things like that. So it isn't enjoyable at all. And as I say, the times when I've been my happiest is when I haven't been caught up in the illness. And there's nothing wrong with being conscious of your health and enjoying exercise and enjoying living a healthy lifestyle and eating a healthy diet. But I think the difference between that and when it becomes too much is when you don't allow yourself to have those periods of time where you're a bit less strict on yourself, and you do relax a bit and enjoy some family time. You enjoy special occasions, meals out, and short breaks away and things like that, because that's what allows us then to carry on with life. Like that's why we have annual leave from work, and that's why at schools you get summer breaks and spring breaks, Christmas breaks. It's because we need these times of the down times to then be able to work effectively, really. So as I said, as I just covered, special occasions is something else that can be quite a big trigger, like a difficult time for someone suffering with an eating disorder, because throughout the year when there's no special occasions, it can be easier to sort of blend in, if you will, with normal life. Your abnormal routines don't sort of stand out as much because everyone else is just getting on with life as normal, going to work and then eating their standard meals and things. But when birthdays and Christmases and celebration, times of celebration and relaxation come around, that's when it can really sort of highlight the issues. Because, like, for example, last Christmas, when everyone else was getting ready for their Christmas dinner and enjoying the festivities and pulling the crackers and wearing the Christmas hats and things, I was the one sat there in the corner with my usual meal, being a party pooper, not getting involved in any of it. And all I could think about was, which gym's open today, which gym can I get to? And the only memories I've got from this last Christmas is eating my same food and being sat in a gym all on my own, like grumpy as shit. And that's not what I want to remember Christmas is for. I want to remember special occasions for, like, the times that I've spent making the memories and enjoying meals and just having a good time. It doesn't all have to revolve around food, but just having a good time and, like, just enjoying time with others and just relaxing a bit. So a final short thing that I wanted to discuss today is I think there's a bit of a misconception about anorexia that it's all about the food, and that if you're anorexic you must just have a thing about food. And you know, if ever I've said to someone before I've suffered with anorexia, they'll quite often people say, oh, so you just don't like food, you just don't eat, like why don't you just eat more? But I think actually it's the complete opposite. Like most anorexics are like, they love food, they're like completely obsessed with food, and it's because they're overly obsessed with food that they become hyper focused on food. And it's really it's not anything, it's not anything to do with the food. The way that the food is linked to anorexia is because we think that if we overeat the food then we're going to get fat. And so by restricting food, that's a way of preventing getting fat, or preventing gaining weight, or whatever we're fearful of. And you know, as I said, food restriction is only one way that could be done. You know, for me personally, I've always struggled a lot more with over exercise than restricting food. And that's, although I do suffer with anorexia, a lot of my symptoms aren't around food restriction. They're more around, you know, exercise and burning off calories, which is in itself is a restriction, but it's just it's another way of doing it. It's restricting by burning calories rather than restricting the amount of calories that you consume. You know, and other people might use you know, other methods of restriction or purging or whatever. You know, purging doesn't always have to be, you know, physically vomiting. It could be laxatives or whatever. You know, I've never suffered with any issues with purging or laxative abuse or anything, but you know, over exercise has always been a major issue for me, and something which I still struggle with at the moment. So I just think that there needs to be a bit of a just a realization that eating disorders aren't, that anorexia and as an eating disorder isn't just about the food. And in fact it's a much broader, much wider issue than just the food. And so, you know, if someone says that they're suffering with anorexia, don't just assume that the food is the only issue, because there really is a lot more to it than that. It's a lot more in depth than most people realise. So I hope that's been helpful for you today. As always, please leave a comment below, subscribe to the channel, give the video a like if you enjoyed some of the stuff that I brought up today, and subscribe to my Instagram as well, which I've also got linked below. And I'll be back filming soon, so see you later.